World building. It's gonna be fun. Hi, I'm Laura Slate. I write sci-fi and fantasy for LGBTQIA plus young adults, and today I'm going to talk about world building. So I'm going to talk briefly about world building and why it's important before I start getting more into detail about what to focus on while world building. World building is really important because your world is going to be in every single scene that you write. So you want to be sure that you know as much as you can about it. You could tackle this in a couple of ways. You could either start globally and work your way down to daily life and little details, or you can start with the little details and then work your way up to build the whole world. It's totally up to you and how you work best. Some people are big picture and some people are detail oriented. So play with both and see where you get the most inspiration. If you're having lots of ideas about your world and you're not quite sure where to start first, take out a piece of paper or open up your laptop and just get everything out of your system that you know already about your world. And it can be messy, it doesn't have to be in order, just get everything out of your brain. And then as you're going through and actually putting structure to your world and answering important questions about where your characters will be living, you can add in all the ideas that you have. Here's a quick rundown on just some of the parts of world building. You need to figure out the geography, climate, and resources. So where is it set? Is it present Earth, future Earth, old Earth, or a realm or world or planet completely new entirely? You want to get that figured out pretty soon into your world building. What can be accessed there? Is there water? Is there food? Can you grow things there? Is it fertile? Or is it dry? Is it humid? And then weather. How does weather affect your story? George R.R. Martin does some great things with weather, and they have a huge role to play in his books. So you probably want to think about how weather will affect your characters and your story. Alright, now we're going to want to know some history. So what has happened in that world before your story starts? You could go back as far as you want. You could create an origin story, myths for how the world or realm was created. You can do so much with history because history is what makes it possible for us to be where we are today. So without creating a history, you don't know how your world progressed to become what it is today. Social organization. This is really fun because you get into politics, religion, and government, and like law systems. So this is all the stuff that it's kind of uncomfortable to talk about with people in real life, but you can explore all of these themes in your work. So in your world, there's going to be politics. Are you going to have a monarchy, a democracy? Is there a dictator? Or you can make up a new system entirely, but you will want to research a little bit on how government and politics work for what you're going for, I guess. So the legal system, let's say someone steals a loaf of bread. How harsh is their punishment? What happens to them? Where do they go? And religion. In my first book, I didn't put any religion in it. I'm gonna have to fix that in the rewrites because there really hasn't ever been a time where there isn't religion. So maybe I can make one in Vitruvius. A lot of times people's religion dictates how they act. How do I talk about religion? Magic, tech, and weaponry. Magic, tech, and weaponry all kind of go together because there's a fine line sometimes between magic and technology if you don't understand how the technology works. Am I right? What magic or tech is available and who has access to it? Is magic just for the special ones? Is magic just for people who have an extra finger? Or do you develop your magic skills once you turn 17 and a half? Who is able to do magic? What are the rules for the magic? And what can they do with their magic? For technology, how advanced is this world? What can they do that maybe we can't now? Or what can they not do that we can now? That makes sense. Weaponry. How would one character go about hurting another one? Would they use a knife or a gun or some crazy awesome fighting techniques? If you're in close quarters on like a spaceship or something, you're probably not going to have guns because you could puncture something and everyone would die. So you'll probably have some sort of really cool fighting techniques, like just like hand-to-hand combat or like very small knives. So depending on where you are, you'll need different ways to hurt other people. People and culture. So what do these people generally look like? Or are there aliens? What kind of beings are you going to have in your world? What else? What else with culture? Ooh, fashion. What are they going to wear? And will what they wear vary depending on who has money and who doesn't, or who sells fish and who pawns antiques? Depending on what materials people have to use, their fashion will look different. And depending on their religious or political systems, they will wear different things. And their weather, you know, you're not going to be wearing big, thick, fuzzy sweaters in the desert, right? It's crazy to me how all this world building plays with each other, and it all just kind of weaves together into this beautiful story blanket. Cultures. So do they have any customs, traditions, any greetings that they always use, or cuss words? Do they celebrate birthdays or holidays, or do they have festivals and parades? What are their marriage systems like? Commerce and trade. So try to figure out how your money system is going to work. Is it going to be like pieces of silver and gold? Will it be paper money like some of us have now? Or will it be plastic cards? Or is it going to be in some kind of chip that's inside of us? Business. So what kind of jobs will people have? And what will those jobs entail? Transportation. Is it horse and buggy? Is it rollerblades? Is it cars or hovercrafts or jet skis or jet skis? That would be good. How do they get from point A to point B? And does this vary depending on how much money people have? And if so, how? Medicine. If you get the flu, what happens? If you accidentally chop your finger off, will it be able to be sewn back on? Or like super crazy awesome like space reattached? What do the creative people in this society do? Are they artists? Are they writers? Are they like competitive high-fivers? And what are the differences between the urban and rural? Urban and rural. Rural. What are the differences between urban and country areas? So every world has rules, and usually it's the rules that make a world unique and different. You could change something about gravity or how seasons work. You could have magic and rules about that magic. Your world could be underground or on water or in the air or in space. These all come with their own sets of rules. Okay, I have a little exercise for you if you want to do it. It's called A Day in the Life. Get out a piece of paper or open up a new document on your laptop and write down what happens to your character from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep. And focus on their environment. And this will tell you a lot about where your character belongs in your world. And it'll raise a lot of questions for you to have to answer about your world. So have fun with it, okay? Get inspired. You could go on Pinterest and create boards for the world that you're creating, and even do different boards for different parts of world building and be able to visualize much better. You can research actual places in our world now that have sort of inspired you in your world building and learn more about them and mine them for more ideas. If you are someone who likes to draw or sketch, you could draw or sketch something out for your world. If you're someone who likes to write your way through figuring something out, you can do some myths or histories or news reports from the time or letters from people. If that gets you going creatively, I guess, then go for it. Just try to get excited about this world that you're creating, because it is something that you should be excited about, because you are creating a place where you and others will get to live for a little while. Now, once you have all of the world building done and categorized like I talked about in my last video, you don't have to use it all at once, okay? So as you're writing your story, have your world accessible, Lydia, have your world accessible to you and weave in that information as it becomes relevant. Like I said, have fun. You are creating a world for your characters and for yourself, because if you're gonna be writing this, you will be spending a lot of time in this place. I had an excellent time talking to you about world building. If you had fun watching, please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment and tell me some of your tips and tricks for world building, or ask me questions. If I was ever unclear or you want me to expand on something, ask me below in the comments. If you have any suggestions for a future vlog, please let me know. I'm always on Twitter and you can find me there at Laura_Slate. Make today the best day of your life, and don't forget to love yourself even when it seems hard. Thanks for watching. Bye. Why are my allergies so bad? Isn't she cute? She's so cute. I work at a vape shop. That's my day job. Looks so professional. I think we're done.